Live on YouTube, starting us up on Rumble. And hello, good morning. Welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened today throughout the annals of recorded history, starting with what do we got here on November 12th?
What do we have today?
Yeah, who wants to read first?
I shall read first.
All
In
right.
295, is this 295 AD or BC?
AD. After
Okay.
death, yes.
So all right. So in 295 AD, the origin of era of ascension.
Huh. I want to look it up here.
So
really
what's
quick.
the order?
That's
what is the order of era of ascension?
Why do I still have element on here? Like,
I have no idea.
Oh, Jesus. So his ascension.
Jesus.
Yeah.
After his death, his followers became convinced that he rose from the dead, and following his ascension, blah blah blah. Okay.
So it's
I
about
that was
Jesus.
32 AD.
Yeah. So, all right.
Or well, maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, what we got next here? We have in 954 AD, the Lotharius becomes king of France.
Yeah, I have more meat to add this from other sources here. It says the 13-year-old Lothar III was crowned king at the Abbey of Saint Remy as the king of the West Frankish kingdom. All right. So at 13.
Huh.
Like, oh.
13-year-old king. Oh, good lord.
Yeah.
No wonder the Chaquois are so weird like that.
Well, you know.
You giggled, you remember
the
Chaquois.
Chinese has done it, you know. Pretty sure the Russians have done it.
Nike.
What do we got here?
We got in 1439, Plymouth, England becomes the first town incorporated by the English Parliament.
Ah, so the first, white man settlement, in the Americas.
Hi-yo!
Speaking of England and all that stuff, 1555 here, the English Parliament re-established Catholicism. And so I believe this is after the whole Church of England thing and all that jazz. Bringing back in outside religion, under the land. 1661, Robert Hooke was appointed curator of experiments to the Royal Society in England. And this hat is annoying me, so I just getting a headache just wearing it. 1682, Swedish King Charles XI established absolute monarchy. That's never good. Oh, the few ruling the many. That's not how it's supposed to be.
No.
Yeah. 1723, Ambrose Godfrey patented a gunpowder fuel, a fire extinguisher system in London. That seems weird. Gunpowder fueled, but as you see here, on the bottom right of our thumbnail today, it's a fire extinguisher grenade, and we have those today. They're highly impractical, but this is the first one on record that I know of. So this is gunpowder. Yeah, exactly. Wah! Yeah, I mean, literally fighting fire with fire. So.
Hey, it might work.
It might. 1727. Let me get rid of this here. What do we have here?
Well, that's you. I did 3. It's your turn.
I've done 4. It's technically King's turn, but he seems preoccupied.
Okay, well, in 1727, we have France and Bavaria renew secret treaty.
I wonder what that treaty actually is.
Secret!
Treaty of Hanover. It was a treaty of defensive alliance signed on 3rd of September 1725 by the Kingdom of Great Britain, the Electorate of Hanover, the Kingdom of France. But this is 2 years later, so I think they're revisiting it. Because it was what it says here, renewed a secret treaty, re-signed, so it was already ongoing. But basically, trying to find exactly what this treaty was, but I'll post this in the underbar section here. So, Secrets Treaty of Hanover. So if anybody wants, a stepping stone on this rabbit hole of research, I'll provide a little bit of it. 1767.
Well, in 1767, the meeting of the Royal Society appoints James Cook as head of an expedition to the Pacific Ocean to observe the transit and Venus on Tahiti. In 1769 will be Cook's first voyage abroad. Or aboard, I mean. I'm sorry, aboard,
Yeah.
not abroad.
Yeah.
Aboard.
The
Aboard!
HMS Endeavour. Yeah. Now, do you know what a transit is?
Kind of.
So
Sort of,
basically,
maybe.
they want to observe the transit of Venus. So from the perspective of being on Earth, obviously, they look up at the sun and they can watch Venus cross the sun. That's the transit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if this was like transit and like movement or transit,
Well-
like as in like when I saw Venus, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this must be the transit of Venus, like the
Basically,
planet.
witnessing Venus be between the sun and Earth. So, I mean, we were talking about this the other day. The year 2085, where there's going to be a transit of Earth from the perspective of Mars. So, that's pretty
Oh
cool.
wow, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Well,
Because we actually have like rovers and stuff around there, so we can actually see it.
dude, what's awesome is they have a flying drone out there. Like, that was pretty crazy.
What?
You didn't know about the flying drone on Mars?
No,
Well,
I
there's a-
didn't.
There's a
We'll talk
flying
about that
drone
later
on
after the
Mars.
show.
Yeah, they have one of those little helicopter things flying around on Mars. Yeah. So,
Ah,
but we gotta get back.
That's
This
cool.
one, raised my eyebrow. with you and yours. So.
Yep. oh yeah, yes, my inquisitive eyebrow, because
Yeah.
I, of course, in philosophical, I guess, or whatever. Yeah, anyway, so we have 1775. General Washington forbids recruiting officers from enlisting black troops.
That's
Ooh.
not nice. So,
What the heck, Washington?
Yeah, Washington. I mean,
God.
once again,
Gosh.
it's easy for us today to look back on history and be like, oh, this was bad, this was good, yada yada. But you got to really put into perspective the times. And back then, unfortunately, they viewed black people with as horrible, not so good viewpoints. So,
Well, say la vie. I mean,
Yeah.
but at least we have learned our ways. But some people
Yes.
don't think we have. But I'm like, yes, we
Well.
have. Anyway, let's go on. What's the next one?
moving on up to 1793, we have the first mayor of Paris and astronomer Jean-Sylvain Bailly were guillotined during the Reign of Terror. So that was during like the whole one of their revolutions and all that
Wow.
stuff. Yeah, no, it's
Jean. Remember, he's French. He's a Chicois.
Those Jacquois,
It's
they
Jean.
don't mess around,
Jean.
Yeah.
Jean.
1799,
Television
Andrew Ellicott made the first known record of a meteor shower observation in the U.S. from a ship off the coast of the Florida Keys. So the first recorded
Well, it wasn't
observation
the
of a meteor,
Mercedes.
So pretty cool.
So it wasn't the Mercedes that he like did the observation. It was actually the mini meteor shower going on now.
Well, it's a meteor shower, but this was the first in the U.S. recorded observation of a meteor shower. Nothing spectacular, really, in the grand scheme of things, but it's more of a documented, thing. So.
Yeah. Sounds
1833,
about right.
the Great Leonid meteor shower was recorded. So talking about meteor showers, we have another one over here. 1835,
Yep.
we have off of main source. Construction was completed on the Wilberforce Monument in Kingston upon Hull. So let's take a look at that, see what that looks like here. Let me get rid of these. Let's see here. Wilberforce
The Great
Monument.
Northern.
Okay, so it's like one of these. So this giant monument here, this is when.
I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking.
I already know what you're thinking, Alice. You dirty-minded trollop. Moving on up, 1847.
Right here. 1847, we have Sir James Young Simpson, a British physician, is the first to use chloroform as an anesthetic.
Oh man, now I have a note here telling me to look this back up because I was while looking for for pictures for the collage for the thumbnail, like I came across this picture. Like, can you imagine just walking in and seeing the guy passed out? Like, this whoopsie doodle. You're muted. But
I know. I was talking to my neighbor.
But can you imagine just walking in and seeing them like he's passed out holding the rag? He's testing chloroform. But then like there's another image somewhere in here. This I believe is the actual guy. So let me open up this. Holy neckbeard!
Oh
like
my god!
Yeah.
Look at that double chin. That's like Chris Farley if he had aged.
That's not a double chin. That's a beard. He has a neck beard, Alice.
Oh.
Yeah, so
cheese and
so
crackers.
a neckbeard basically like was using chloroform. So this is a struggle snuggle scenario if there ever was one. Like, does this smell
Holy
like chloroform to you?
tamale.
You know?
Yeah, he looks like he's been chloroformed a few times
Yeah.
by himself.
What do we got here in 1859?
In 1859, we have Jules Leotard performs the first flying trapeze circus act in Paris, the Jacquard area. He also designed a garment that bears his name.
Yeah, so we all know about the Leotard, and this is the debut, of the Leotard. He designed it, named it after himself. That's why his name seems so weird, because, later on in the future, it looks funny looking back at the past. But once again, put yourself in the shoes back there, and, it's not really, that crazy. But flying trapeze and all
Some
that
people
stuff.
call them tights. Some people call them tights, and some people call them leotards. But actually, there actually are differences between the two.
Oh yeah, well, leotards
Tights
is a
and
onesie,
leotards.
and tights usually are like tight pants, and all that stuff. Like it's a whole ensemble. So,
What?
what do we got here?
We got in 1873, the Bay District Racetrack in San Francisco opens.
All right.
So I'm assuming because of the year, it's a horse racing track.
Well, yeah.
Ain't
Yeah.
NASCAR.
Yeah, well, not NASCAR, not yet. No. Moving on up to 1880, best-selling U.S. novel Ben-Hur: A Tale of the Christ by soldier Lew Wallace was published. All right.
Ooh.
Yeah. One decade later, Mabel Loomis Todd published the first edition of Poems by Emily Dickinson. That's pretty big right there.
Hi-yo.
Yeah. Your camera vanished, by the way. 1892, Pudge...
I'll fix it.
What a name. Pudge Hufflefinger. What a name is that? Received $500 to become the first professional football player recorded in the Allegheny Athletic Association's 4-0 win over the Pittsburgh Athletic Club. Pudge Heffelfinger. That's a name.
That is a cool name though.
Yeah.
Heffelfinger. It almost sounds like a Harry Potter house.
Like
Instead
Hufflepuff,
of Hufflepuff,
Hufflefinger.
instead of Hufflepuff, you have Heffelfinger.
Yeah, well, like Huffle, it sounds like a puffy. You have a puffy fingers. I have the Huffle fingers.
I got the Hufflepuff finger.
Yikes. 1893, the Treaty of the Durand Line was accepted by Abdur Rahman Khan and signed between the Emirate of Afghanistan and the British Raj, present-day Pakistan and Afghanistan. The Durand Line has gained international recognition as an international border between the two sister nations. All right.
When I heard durian, I was thinking the durian fruit.
Oh. When I hear
It smells
Duran,
really horrible,
I think
but
of
tastes
Duran
delicious,
Duran.
apparently.
Oh,
well, that's a good band, though.
yeah.
Don't knock them.
No.
Anyway, where are we at?
1894.
1894, we got Lawrence Hargrave, the Australian aeronautical pioneer and inventor of the box kite. Linked 4 huge box kites together and flew, but remained attached to the ground by piano wire.
That's a trip.
Dude, do we have a picture of that we can see?
No, we don't, unfortunately. So.
Oh,
I looked
lame.
for one. They have pictures of him with box kites, but there are no pictures or any images of him having them tied together and being airborne, unfortunately. So.
Lame.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Moving
It is
on
what it is. What are you
into
gonna
the
do?
next century, what do we have?
Oh my God, we're at the 1900s, where we
Yeah.
have an edition of the Universale, the World's Fair in Paris, closes after 50 million visitors. Art Nouveau style dominate.
All right.
Who's Art Nouveau anyway? If you don't mind.
I don't think that's a
Just be
guy.
like-
I think it's a style. But let's see here. Where did it go?
Okay, it's like Art
Nouveau.
Deco and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Let me look it up here really quick though. Let's see here. Art Nouveau style images. Give me images. Oh,
Yeah.
So this is Art Nouveau
Oh.
style.
Oh, dude, look at that! Cool architecture too, right next to that
Yeah.
picture before. Oh, are those the freaking zodiacs around that head? Those zodiac signs?
Yes it is.
Yeah, they are.
Yes, they are.
Oh my gosh! Look at that! I caught on. Ayo!
Yeah, those are the
Yeah,
zodiac
she's got
signs.
She got crystal earrings on her cap. That's cool. I like that picture.
Yeah. This is pretty cool.
Anyways,
too.
see that?
That's a
That is
wild-
actually really beautiful.
That's, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so where are we at? We're at 1908 or 1905?
I'm going to take 1905 here because I have a more meaty article. Norway held a referendum resulting in popular approval of the Shorting's decision to authorize the government to make the offer of the throne of the newly independent country, preferring monarchy over republic. That's not good.
Yeah.
We don't care about 1908, but we do care about 1909.
Well, the damn the people who like to think themselves as Jaquas, but they're not.
Yeah.
Or English.
Chiquois adjacent.
Yeah, there's Jaquas adjacent, depending on where you are in Canada. Anyways, 1909, politician William Lyon Mackenzie King takes his seat in the House of Commons as Canada's first Minister of Labour.
All right.
Oh, see, I'm looking inquisitive right now. 1910, the first possible move stunt. A man jumps into the Hudson River from a burning balloon.
Yeah, movie stunt, man. 1910.
That
that's
is
incredible.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
I have a more meaty article.
So we're gonna do
here
we're gonna do Scott's body.
Scott's body.
Hey, it looks like King is here.
Oh
you
yeah,
want to
we're
read
doing
this
Scott's body. Yeah. No, King's here. He's busy doing something. So, but so it's here. The frozen bodies of British explorer Robert Falcon Scott and his men were found on the Ross Ice Shelf in Antarctica, along with his diary. So,
Whoa!
yeah.
At least we got the diary, so we knew what's going on. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, like a lot of Arctic explorers didn't make it, here and there and all that stuff.
Well,
yeah,
it is the Arctic. It's kind of cold.
Yeah, and in 1912, that's really early.
Indeed.
Yeah. Well, you can only do
Yep.
that when you're talking about $1 million. So.
No, 100 million.
1 billion, shoobity shop, billion, zillion, gazillion dollars. Ship shop,
Zippity-bop.
shibbity bop.
Zippity bop, what happened in
source here
1912, 14, or
well.
15?
During the First Balkan War, King George I of Greece made a triumphal entry into Thessaloniki after its liberation from 482 years of Ottoman rule. So we liberated it, from the Islamists and all that stuff. So.
Well,
Yeah.
if you call it liberation, we'll see.
How
is it doing today?
Speaking of something, 1914, what do we got here? And you tell me what this sounds like.
1914, Turk Sultan Jamal Pasha declares a German holy war. What?
That sounds like.
How does that make sense?
That sounds like an Islamic jihad.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Bacala, Muhammad Jihad.
That's not some Team America here.
I know, but when you say jihad, I always go to that.
Yeah.
I can't help it. But anyway, so we have that one. What are we doing next? We got in 1915, we have Britain annexes Gilbert and Ellice, the archipelago in the Western Pacific.
Yeah, archipelago.
Archipelago.
Yep.
It almost sounds like a musical notion or whatever.
Acapella.
Like almost like archipelago, but archipelago.
Archipelago. Huh.
I'm gonna archipelago your house later today.
That sounds like a sexual threat, and I feel uneasy. We got another 1915 here.
All right, another 1915 here. We have Theodore W. Richards' first American win to the Nobel Peace Prize in chemistry.
Not the Nobel Peace Prize, just a regular Nobel Prize. So.
Yeah, the Nobel Prize, for chemistry.
Which, that reminds me, a nice quote from the movie Oppenheimer was, when they were discussing the implications, of their device and everything, they were talking about, we're scientists, we're peaceful, why are we building a bomb, yada, 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 and then they brought up Alfred Nobel. Alfred Nobel invented dynamite. And that shut up the other guy really quick. It's
yeah. Everything that's beautiful can also be turned into a weapon.
Oh, yes. 1918.
Like my blah, 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 blah.
1918, during the dissolution of Austria-Hungary, Austria became a republic, and Emperor Karl of Austria-Hungary abdicated. After this proclamation, a coup attempted by the Communist Red Guard was defeated by the Social Democratic Volkswehr. So, power vacuum, they tried to come in and take it. So.
Yeah, this is during around World War I, right?
Just after. literally the day
Yeah,
after
just
World
right
War
after.
One.
Yep.
The Well, we talked
How
about
long
that
did
yesterday. November 11th, 1918 is when, on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, the guns fell silent, land, sea, and air, the end of World War One. So this is right after, literally the day after, like time wise,
Nice.
same year, yeah. So,
Yeah.
1919.
1919, we have Ross and Keith Smith start a 1-month flight from London to Australia.
Yeah, nowadays you can only you
1
can do
month?
that. Well, I mean, like back in
Well, I
1919, you had to stop for fuel. There was not, so it took them a while.
Yeah, well, they didn't probably have huge fuel tanks like they do now on like your
Oh,
Boeings
definitely
and stuff
not.
like that.
Like, it wasn't until like recently before like we can really like go intercontinental in one hit.
Well,
Like,
like I think in the 50s or like the 50s, I think we got intercontinental, didn't we? Well, we can talk about that later. Let's keep moving on.
We got a baseball one here if King wants to take it.
King, you got a baseballer.
Hold on.
Yeah, I found Waldo.
Oh yeah.
I don't see a judge. I don't see a. Oh, sorry. First baseball commissioner, 1920 Judge Kensaw Mountain Landis, elected first baseball commissioner by Team Owners.
All right.
Damn.
Yeah. Now we got another off of main source here. 1920, Italy and the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes signed the Treaty of Rapallo. And what is the Treaty of Rapallo?
I'll be right back, guys.
All right. Let's look up this Treaty of Rapallo really quick. So it was an agreement signed, on April 16th, 1922, between the German Reich and Soviet Russia. This is the same one. Okay, well, hold on a second. This is telling me about the 22, 1920. This was specifically 1920, right? Yeah, here we go. Okay, here we go. The Treaty of Rapallo was an agreement between the Kingdom of Italy and the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes in the aftermath of the First World War. It was intended to settle the Adriatic question, which referred to Italian claims over territories promised to the country in return for its entry into the war against Austria-Hungary when Italy switched sides. Claims that were made on the basis of the 1915 Treaty of London. The wartime pact promised Italy large areas of the eastern Adriatic. The treaty, signed on November 12, 1990 in Rapallo, Italy, generally redeemed the promises of territorial gains in the former Austrian littoral by awarding Italy territories generally corresponding to the peninsula of Istria and the former princely country of Gorizia and Gradiska, with the addition of Sinek Plateau, in addition to what was promised by the London Treaty. So, a whole bunch of, political crap, gobbledygook, and all that stuff, yada yada. So I wonder what happened from there. Moving it up, another 1920 here. Let's see, what do we got?
A second.
Okay, the Dalmatian coast between Italy and Yugoslavia was ceded to Yugoslavia. All right. Another off of main source here, 1920 as well. The 1920 Cork hunger strike by Irish Republicans ended after 3 deaths. And what was the 1920 Cork hunger strike? Once again, the Irish just want freedom, and Britain won't let them have it for whatever reason. During the Irish War of Independence, when 65 men interned without trial in Cork County, Gaul, went on hunger strike, demanding release from prison and reinstatement of their status as political prisoners. Beginning on August 11, 1920, they were joined the following day by the Lord Mayor of Cork, Terence McSweeney. A week into the hunger strike, all but 11 of the hunger strikers were released or deported to prison in England, with McSweeney being among the latter. So just awful stuff. White people doing awful stuff to other white people. White people don't care, what the color of your skin is. They just hate, even against each other. So, Free Ireland. What do we got here on 1921? Washington Conference for Limitation of Armaments. All right. Let's see here. The Washington Naval Conference. It was a disarmament conference called by the United States and held in Washington, D.C. It was conducted outside the auspices of the League of Nations, so, it was outside of their jurisdiction. It was attended by 9 nations: the United States, Japan, China, France, the United Kingdom, Italy, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Portugal. Regarding interests in the Pacific Ocean and East Asia, Germany was not invited to the conference, as restrictions on its navy had already been set in the Versailles Treaty. Soviet Russia was also not invited to the conference. It was the first arms control conference in history, and is still studied by political scientists as a model for a successful disarmament movement. All right, and they did that without the aid of the League of Nations at the time. Just proving the point that we do not need a United Nations, a League of Nations. All that stuff is just crap. It's good on paper, so is communism, but in practice, it's crap, just like communism. So, 1922, if anybody wants to read this one. Okay. The Sigma Gamma Rho sorority was founded on the campus of Butler University in Indianapolis, Indiana. Okay. 1 year later, 1923, Dr. Hajmala Schlotz was appointed special commissioner to deal with the currency problem in Germany. By November of 1924, the currency will have been restored. So Dr. Schlotz did a good job, it sounds like. All right. Speaking of Germany, while that was going on the same year in 1923, Adolf Hitler was arrested for attempting to seize power during the Beer Hall Putsch coup d'etat. Oh, yep, that happened. 1 century ago, 1924, Jewish school Yeshiva Slovakia opened a branch in Hebron, Palestine. That sounds like colonization to me. They're getting in there and they're shoehorning their people in there, certain demographics as opposed to what's already there. I mean, let's not forget about the Balfour Declaration. They've been trying to, insert Israel into Palestine since 1918, at least. Right. Nothing to do with the Holocaust. So, what do we got here in 25?
1925, U.S. and Italy signed peace accord about war debts.
All right. And this one's rather intriguing here.
The first recorded aerial bombing on U.S. soil took place in Williamson County, Illinois, during a feud between rival liquor gangs, the Sheltons and the Bergers.
Now, to those who are why the hell are there liquor gangs? Well, 1926 is the height of Prohibition. So,
yep.
Yeah. And this is the first recorded aerial bombing on U.S. soil from liquor gangs from a problem that the government created. Look at that. The consequences of our actions.
Live and learn, right? Yeah. Live and learn.
But I guess we can thank Prohibition for the invention of NASCAR because,
Well, dude, actually,
yeah.
Prohibition is still enacted.
What do you mean? I thought they repealed it.
Well, they repealed it, but not all of it. Like, if it was fully repealed, then everybody could distill their own liquor. But you can't. It's still illegal to distill unless you have
that's because of stupid bureaucracy, and they want it to be,
it
has to be healthy.
But those hard-tuned bureaucrats that don't get elected, but somehow make policies for us.
Yeah.
Anywho, where are we at?
1927.
1927, we have Leon Trotsky is expelled from the Soviet Communist Party, paving the way for Joseph Stalin to consolidate complete power.
In the Soviet Union. Yep.
Enter the USSR.
Well, the USSR was already there. The Lenin...
Well, you know what I mean, though.
Well, inter-Stalinism. Inter-Stalinism is what you mean, specifically.
Yeah.
Because, see, a lot of people don't realize about, how the whole rigmarole and all that stuff. Vladimir Lenin did not want Joseph Stalin in any form of power because he knew the guy was absolute crazy. So he made him the general secretary. He literally created that role as a nothing role just to have him have a button seat and shut him up. But the powers that Stalin had, he had the power of scheduling. So he manipulated the scheduling around, and he played the power by dictating who goes when, where, what, and how. And... yeah. So that's the general secretary. So he's...
The more you know.
Yeah.
Boop, boop.
What else do we got here in 27?
What we got here in 1927, Notre Dame's Fighting Irish changes blue jerseys for green.
All right. No.
Hiyo!
Yeah, I don't pay
Notre
attention to
Dame
that.
is Notre Dame is Ohio, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. So,
Oh, just for funsies, look it up real quick. Where Notre Dame is. I think it's Ohio. I could be wrong. Or Indianapolis, or Indiana, one of the two.
Fighting Irish. Let's see here. A football location. Let's see if that tells me something. Notre Dame Stadium. Okay. Let me just click that here really quick. Where is this located in? Indiana.
Oh yeah, so I was right. Either Indiana or Ohio. I knew it was one of the two states.
Oh, just on the border.
Oh,
Look at how
right on the
close that is.
border
That's
of
right
Michigan.
there. Wow.
Oh wow, holy yeah. See, I didn't know if it was Ohio or Indiana. I knew it was one of the two states.
Oh, it's Indiana.
Hey, well now we know more.
Yep.
Boop, boop, boop.
1928, British steamer Vestris, sailing from New York City to Uruguay, capsized and sunk approximately 200 miles or 320 kilometers off Hampton Roads in Virginia, killing 111 people, including many women and children, who died after the vessel was abandoned. Wow. So the crew did not do what they were supposed to, and they just left them to die, and they died. That's awful. You know, kind of like
aren't they supposed to stay on?
They're supposed to. But, you know, we have a, modern example, the Costa Concordia, you know? Like,
Yep. Up of Greece, or was that Italy?
I don't know, somewhere in there.
In the Mediterranean, but, like partially capsized.
Italy and Greece are really
they ran
close
aground.
together. So.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to stay with your ship until everybody's off the ship if you're a captain.
Exactly.
But if everybody leaves, oh God, they just, what jerks?
Yeah.
Well, we got in 1931, the Maple Leaf Gardens opens in Toronto, Canada. Why did I sound like Oprah right there? I don't know. Chicago Blackhawks beat Leafs 2-1.
First off, if you're going to say Canada, you have to say it properly. Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Secondly, you mispronounce Chicago. Okay.
Oh.
Yep.
There, I said it. Hey, how do I look now?
You look Arabic.
Oh.
Now I'm going to take these two because they kind of repeat themselves here. But 1933, the first NFL football game on a Sunday at Philadelphia's Baker Bowl. Sporting events on Sunday had been illegal on Sundays up until now because of Lord's Day and all that stuff. Eagles tie with the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears, the Bears, 3-3. And at the same time, we have Pittsburgh Forbes Field. The Pirates lost to the Brooklyn Dodgers 32-0. Wow.
What the
Let's
hell?
go Dodgers. And they won the World Series this year, right?
I actually don't know. I saw it when I was in Minnesota, but I didn't watch the ending part of it. Oh, no, wait, I was in Pennsylvania. I just stopped paying attention.
Well, the Loon watched it. I think he said that they won. So, but here we go.
The first known in 1933, the first known photo of so-called Loch Ness Monster is taken by Hugh Gray.
Ooh.
Show the picture.
Yes.
Show the picture.
Right here, this one in the top right of our thumbnail. That's it, right there. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you
Golden Loon here.
All right.
Hey, folks, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, living the dream as always, till you wake up
Always.
to the nightmare.
Yeah. And we got a dark one here. Sorry you just came in, and now we have a bad one. So
Does Papa Dukes want to read it?
he doesn't
No.
like to read.
Nah, and I don't have my glasses.
Okay, fine. I'll take it for you. In the name of Papa Dukes, I'm gonna do it. In 1933, Nazis received 92% of the vote in German parliamentary elections.
That sounds stolen.
Ugh.
Yeah, 90% of anything is,
Yeah. So, but we got an off of
It
main
is what it
article or off of main source here, coinciding with this 1933 as well. Nazi Germany used a referendum to ratify its withdrawal from the League of Nations.
Ah.
So that's
AKA what is it called now?
Oh well, it's United Nations, yeah. So
Yes.
the League of Nations was a predecessor, but there was a point in time, like 1 week, where both entities existed at the same time. Well, they had
Yes,
to move.
I remember we talked about this in
Yeah.
history before.
Yeah, but this
Good
one's pretty
Lord.
big.
In 1935, we have Igas Moniz performs his the first modern brain surgery on the frontal lobes to treat mental disorders at Santa Marta Hospital in Lisbon, Portugal.
Man, I can use one of those.
I didn't know it was in Portugal.
35. That's
Yeah.
way back.
Now, if
Yeah,
this
the
is
first frontal lobe
Yeah.
procedure.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this sounds like a what do they do with the brain with crazy people?
Shock.
They lobotomize.
That's
Oh,
it. Sounds like a lobotomy. Because isn't that what
Yep.
they do? A lobotomy
So
is they
basically,
remove the
perform the
frontal
first-
lobe.
Yeah.
So,
You know, why don't you just say what it is? Like, he gave the first lobotomy back
there
then.
you
Yeah.
go.
Right up the nose.
yeah. Well, that's what the Egypts did to take your brains fully out, Alice. I don't think that's how they lobotomize.
No, actually,
people.
that's what they do to
Oh,
lobotomize. They
really?
take a thing up the nose
Oh yeah, you're right.
because it's
I
right
didn't
like
know that.
Yeah.
that's how they lobotomize.
So is that where the term "up your nose with a rubber hose" comes from?
Don't think so.
Shut up!
I mean, the end result is the same. So
It is.
yeah. What else do we got?
Indeed. Indubitably. Things to think about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
1936
the more
year,
you
we
know.
have the first ever TV gardening show, In Your Garden, shown on BBC television. It's the first ever gardening show.
Ah.
Grow a
Yeah.
garden and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those who want to grow a green thumb, watch that show.
Grow a green thumb.
A green thumb. That means you're a gardener.
I
You
know
have a
what a
green
green
thumb.
thumb
You have a
is.
you have
My
a
thumb-
niche. You have a niche for gardening.
Yeah, I do
My
not have a green
stepmom's
thumb.
really good at that.
You wonder how extensive TV was in 1936.
Yeah, well, especially
Yeah, well,
in
you know.
Britain.
It's probably all local stuff.
Yeah, it was,
There was a
BBC, the
gardening
British
show in
Broadcasting Company,
1930s.
so-
That's cool.
In 1936, and we've been on this bridge. In California, the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge opened to traffic. We've been down
Yeah,
there a couple of
course.
times.
Of course.
So,
The
now we got-
Oakland Bridge, baby. Show a picture of the Oakland Bridge for those who don't know.
All right, Oakland Bay
The one
Bridge.
that goes to the island then on over.
Let's see here.
It's not the Golden Gate.
That's not the Golden Gate. It's another.
No,
bridge.
yeah, nothing to do with San Francisco here.
It does have something to do with San
Oh, that's-
Oh
Francisco.
yeah, no, it hooks into San Francisco on the other side.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it does. Oh,
Oh,
dude, that is
it
a
puts
beautiful
It does,
bridge.
Alice. We're telling you. So straight up, it does.
It connects Oakland and San Francisco together.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not the Golden Gate.
No,
No.
Golden Gate connects San Francisco to something else. But hold on a second. Let me
Goes up north to
Let's show a
Sonoma
map of
County.
it.
map.
Yeah, do
of
a map
San
of that view.
Francisco roads.
San Francisco, open your Golden Gate. You don't want nobody
so
wait outside your
basically-
door.
Open image new tab. Basically, okay, so up here.
Fisherman's Wharf.
This is the Golden Gate Bridge up here. Okay, you see
The
that?
Golden Gate will
Yeah.
take you on
Yep.
up into Northern California, up
Yes.
that way.
Now the Bay Bridge is over here, Alice.
Yeah.
It comes in.
Oh,
from the
damn,
east.
that's even bigger.
Yes.
Oh, way bigger.
Very bigger.
Way bigger.
Yes, but not as not as
And why is that
notoriety.
one not the famous one? Why is the Golden Gate such,
Well,
a,
the
such
Golden
a small
Gate is
bridge?
it's got all the what do you call it's on it, and with all the currents and everything there, it was really hard to build. Much shorter bridge, but
Yeah,
that's why they have all the cables and all that stuff over there.
yeah,
They had to build a different.
yeah. Plus, it goes
I
right
see, I
over
see.
that inlet, so that's very strategically important and all that stuff. So it's
Now, right up north, there's a whole military, or used to be
Yeah.
for World War II, pillboxes and all that stuff to protect the bay.
before World
Did
War
you
II.
guys
There's they
Did
have
you guys take a tour of that?
we did
You
yeah
showed
no.
me.
No tour, but
Yeah.
we scoured the ground.
Yeah, well, there are tours, and especially of SF-88 or whatever, the Nike missile base, the only one left around. But no, there's military emplacements, like artillery emplacements, all the way back to the Civil War.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
Holy buckets,
Yeah.
dude.
so
The more you know.
yeah. Now moving on up, we have off of main source here, 1938, Nazi Germany. Oh God, this one's awful. So everybody, buckle yourselves up. Nazi Germany issued a decree on the elimination of Jews from the economic life, prohibiting Jews from selling goods and services or working in a trade, totally segregating Jews from the German economy. And this is why I say what I say, like, nowadays, instead of doing it through the laws, the system has done it through social order. So that's why I say what I say, about, like, being, white and a male and stuff all in California and everything. Can't get a job, can't get therapy, can't do this, can't do that. It's the same thing, but through a different route. And to enforce that point, 1939 here, if Alice wants to read
Scroll down,
this.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 1939, we have Jews in lots. and this is in Poland, by the way. They are ordered to wear yellow star,
Oh,
yellow
yeah.
star of David.
Now, to enforce my point, as I said,
Not a white star,
No.
but a yellow one. To like,
Yeah.
I think that's like just a
like, it
fu
was
to
this
them.
one here.
Yeah.
Like, this one here.
Yep.
So now, to
Yellow
enforce
Star David.
to enforce the point that I was saying, does anybody remember when the government was trying to push the idea of having unvaccinated people wearing around a badge to
Yeah.
show?
Of course. I
It's
had an
the
argument.
same exact thing, people. That's why I say I know exactly what it feels like to be a Jew in Nazi Germany, because it's the same thing in California, in Oregon, in Washington, and all these politically crazy places.
Washington.
The way they treat white people and heterosexuals, males, whatever is against the status quo, it's no different than how the Germans treated the Jews in 1930s. You know?
Yeah. Well,
So-
actually, like, what's really funny is, like, the Star of David's not supposed to be yellow; it's supposed to be white. So
Yellow
they're
shows
they're
up
doing
so
a
they can see it from
disrespectful
a long
on that one.
distance.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on up, what do we got here, Lady Death?
Oh, thank you. I was hoping you were gonna highlight this one for me. Because I'm Miss Weather Lady. Anyway, so we have in 1940 a blizzard strikes North American Midwest. Like, so it's the stomping grounds of King and
You're
I
a weather
kind of
lady,
area.
you're Lady Death, and you're in the Midwest. This is your trifecta of an article.
I know. And 154 people died. 69 died on a boat on the Great Lakes. So I'm assuming that's like either like Lake Michigan, between
the
Lake
lakes.
Michigan, Lake Superior, and maybe Ontario. But I don't think Ontario is technically part
Now
of
I
the
got
West.
two
That's
off of
part the
main
Rust
source
Belt.
articles here. They're both 1940. During World War II, the Battle of Gabon ended as Free French forces took Libreville, Gabon, and all of French equatorial Africa from Vichy France forces. And we were talking about how Vichy France got invaded by their occupiers because they started an armistice with us after the. And we also have Soviet Foreign Minister Vyacheslav Molotov arrived in Berlin to discuss the possibility of the Soviet Union joining the Axis powers. So remember back in the day where I was under the misconception that the Russians were on the side of the Nazis.
Yeah.
They weren't. They were like friends or allies or something until Operation Barbarossa.
Yeah.
But right here we have a proposition they almost did. They almost were part of the
Allies,
Axis.
but not friends.
Well,
They almost were.
Yeah.
well, the enemy of my enemy is
Yeah,
my
yeah,
friend.
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
so.
yeah.
That
Hey,
that
Sir
is a
King,
saying,
how you
yeah.
doing?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Doing good.
All right.
Nice. What else do we got here?
We got 1941. Alma, was that Heflin? Yeah, Heflin, the first female test pilot for a commercial aircraft. Piper Corporation, Loch Haven. Oh, Loch Haven. Oh my God.
Oh, hey.
Loch Haven in Pennsylvania. Actually, that doesn't it end up as Loch Haven Martin? So somebody name got added on at the end. But yeah,
Well,
Loch
this
Haven.
is from that whatever it was called back then, you know, or whatever. Like,
Oh,
the
wow,
first
that's
female test pilot for a
crazy.
commercial aircraft. That's pretty cool, you know.
Yeah.
That is, and it was a female that did it.
Well,
Nice.
first female, not the first ever commercial. This is the first female. There
Yeah.
have been male commercial.
Yeah, the first
pilots,
female.
right.
Yes.
So
Which like there are already commercial aircrafts going on, but this was the first female to do
pilot,
this,
yeah.
which is cool.
I just got asked that you
Well, way to go, Alma. All right, in 1941,
Well,
we have
it's-
Germany's drive to take Moscow halted.
Yeah, and speaking of Operation Barbarossa, so yeah. Now this
there you
one,
go.
like this one, must have caused some confusion here.
Cool. This one in 1941,
Yes.
we have radio stations WOVAM and WNEWAM in New York City swaps call letters.
Oh God.
Yeah, that would definitely cause confusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, another off of main source
Hello.
here in 1941, during World War II, temperatures around Moscow dropped to negative 12 degrees Celsius, which is 10 degrees Fahrenheit, as the Soviet Union launched ski troops for the first time against the freezing German forces near the city. Now, I'm pretty sure the Norwegians were the first ones to really use ski troops, but I'm not sure, during the Winter War.
Oh, probably, or the Swedes. Or the Swedes or the Polish, like
Well-
one of those, or no, I mean the Finnish.
Well, no, well,
Yeah,
it was
Finns
Finland.
could be-
Finland.
Could be Finns.
Not the Swedes, the Finland, because Finland and Russia were fighting their own winter
They're
war
bordered.
during World War II. They were fighting their own war, coinciding and all that stuff.
Well, Finland's got a lot of borders
Yeah.
with Russia.
Yeah. Well, Finland used to be owned by Russia. That's why Russia wants it back.
Yeah.
That's why
Yep.
That's why the Winter War happened, because we spoke about this just a couple days ago. Tsar Nicholas III, the last Tsar of Tsarist Russia before the rise of the Soviet Union, which happened because of World War I, and I can just ramble on about history, but Tsarist Russia did have sovereignty over Finland at the time.
Russia also wants Alaska back.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, good luck on getting that one
Yeah.
back. Yeah, that's their own fault. Like, oh, what? There's oil up there? Huh?
Yeah. Now, what do we got here? This is awesome.
What we have here, we have SS Robert E. Perry in 1942. The Liberty ship built in 4 days and 15.5 hours at Henry J. Kaiser's Richmond Shipyard, number 2, launched, setting a new record.
I mean,
Wow.
we
They
were
built a
pumping out
boat
ships
in, like,
nobody's
a day?
business.
Wow, that's
Like,
unbelievable.
Dude, they built a boat like, oh my lord.
Yeah, no, like they.
Like, you think it would take like a year or like 6
Well, no,
like
this
6 months
is
to a
what
year to build
Yamamoto
one?
was saying when they awoken the sleeping dragon. He knew of
No.
our industrial capabilities, and we essentially
Sleeping giant, not dragon.
dragon, giant, whatever, like the sleeping thing.
Giant.
Okay. Well, no, we essentially like what was it that Henry Ford at the assembly? We turned the entire country into a ship assembly line, and we were spitting them
And
out
tanks.
and tanks and all that stuff.
Oh man,
Like
Rosie the Riveter. Enter Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep.
Women took over.
Yeah, yes we can.
Yep. So.
I actually have. Actually, speaking of Rosie the Riveter, I have a magnet from my mother
Oh,
of Rosie the
Don't put
Riveter.
it too close to your computer. It's a magnet,
Ah!
Alice. Anyway,
I'm just-
1942, and for they moved these since yesterday because this used to be after this. But what do we have here?
Well, and we have in 1942 the naval battle of Guantanamo, the Guadalcanal begins between Allied and Japanese naval forces in the in the Solomon Islands. U.S. forces prevails after days of fighting.
Yeah, 3 days. So about Guadalcanal, that was really big. That was.
oh yeah, it was huge.
With,
That was a big win for us.
yeah. Oh
yeah.
yeah. Bloody as hell, but
It
Yeah.
may seem small and minute, but it was a big deal.
Yeah.
No, big,
Yeah, we
big
won.
deal.
Moving on up to 1945. Actually, why don't you take it, because this is one of your favorite words here.
Ah, the Nobel Peace Prize. In 1945, the Nobel Peace Prize awarded to American politician Cordell Hull for establishing the UN.
I don't agree with that, but yeah.
I don't agree with some people who got a Nobel Peace Prize either.
Well,
So,
yeah.
not just him.
A certain person getting it just because of the color of his
Ah,
skin. What we do. Yeah. Yeah. 1946, a branch of the Exchange National Bank in Chicago, Illinois, opened the first 10 drive-up teller windows. Huh, look at
How
that.
about that?
Oh, my
Yeah.
lord. Lord have mercy. A teller window, you say?
Now, I gotta say, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day, my, what a questionable day. Walt Disney's Song of the South was released in 1946, and they're trying to bury that so hard. So,
This-
let's not forget.
Oh, my
let's not
God.
forget-
Zippity Doo-Dah, the actual name of that song in the South?
Yeah, well, I don't know what the name of the song is, but that's the song.
I thought it was
yeah.
Zippity
But
Doodah.
incredibly racist.
Yeah, I did too, yeah.
Like, or not racist, but tribal. It's incredibly hateful towards, former slaves and all that stuff. Just Disney showing their true colors, Like, yeah.
Well, you mean, like what Walt Disney
Yeah.
himself? Like, he was quite a racist.
Oh, yeah. And he hated the Jews, too, so, yeah.
Dude, and he also, like, didn't he send money to the Nazis?
Yeah, he works hand in hand with the Nazis, like,
Wow! And
Yeah.
imagine that, we still embrace the guy.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
And you know what? I want you to try to read. Actually, you know what? No, King. I want you to read this.
Schindler? Oh, whoa, what, no. Oh, no, you had him sing it. Oh, my gosh. You really want me to try this? It's been a hot minute since I've done this.
You are cruel.
I have to take my sunglasses off and show my
I don't know.
inquisitive eyebrow.
Let him try.
Oh, alright. Alright.
1947.
Titular Han of Megarden.
Alice, shut up.
I
He
guess
was
she's
reading.
going.
Go ahead, King.
1947. Schindler Verbalserhan of Meager to 1 year jail sentence.
All right.
Better than I could do.
Congratulations.
How was it? Was it?
I almost had a stroke just listening to that.
Yeah.
That's just a bunch of letters.
It's
put
I know,
together.
right?
Eyebrows screwing with me right
Yeah.
now, dude.
Now, I have more meat on this article here. 1948, during the aftermath of World War II, in Tokyo, the International Military Tribunal for the Far East sentenced 7 Japanese military and government officials, including General Hideki Tojo, to death for their roles and war crimes in the global conflict. And speaking of war crimes, we're going to be talking about another one here, perpetuated by a certain country. People don't believe to be evil, but yeah. Moving on up, what do we got here in 1948? This is really interesting here.
Oh, well,
Alice, let King
Go ahead.
talk. 3 for
Sorry.
3, remember?
1948, the first mobile Betatron particle accelerator
Ooh.
begins operation in the U.S. Naval Ordnance Laboratory, White Oak, Maryland.
Ah,
Wow, 1948?
yeah.
Yeah.
Article-
That's amazing.
Well, I mean, like, this is why I keep saying, like, we see these articles and we're like, wow, they did it that early, but why are we surprised that they did it that early? They did it that early. Why are we so taken aback by it? It should be normal. Like, it happened.
Oh, it's just I didn't realize that kind of technology that soon.
Yeah. Well, exactly. You
Well-
know? Like,
It's also the year both my parents were born.
oh, wow. All right.
Yep, 1948, baby.
Sir King?
Sir,
1952, White Sox place Jim Rivera on 1 year probation after cleared of rape.
Yee.
oh,
He was cleared.
what?
Yeah.
He still got a year's probation.
Yeah, well, you
Gotta
know.
be more to it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he's a man and therefore still guilty.
Yeah. There's no justice for men, that's for sure. Not today. Not
No,
these
not
days.
at all,
No.
which is
Here's
malarkey.
what- you know, and I've said this many times. Rape is a horrible, horrible thing. Don't dilute the damn meaning of it, because it's too serious.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like you're taking away from the victims of it, like
Yes.
going, oh well, it was assault. I don't like that. I'm like, no,
Well,
rape
I
is
said
rape.
No, and then so therefore it's
Like,
rape.
like,
No.
all of the slime that crawled out of the woodwork during the Me Too movement, just, you know, all the actual victims, I my heart goes out for them because they've been diluted, you know? Oh.
Dude, yeah, like what's
Anyway.
her freaking name from Charmed? She was also like she was Tatum or whatever in the movie Scream. Like she's been a big activist, like Rosie something. I can't remember her name for the life
Moving
of
on
me
to
right now.
1953, U.S. District Judge Grimm ruled NFL can black out TV home games. So what does that mean?
They can black out your team in your city because the game
Yep.
is being played there.
Because they're dicks.
So they want to
That's-
make sure you sell it out.
Oh, that's
Go to the
Jerks.
game. Don't turn on the TV.
that's awful. So
Well, I like that 1954 right there. The 1954 Ellis Island Immigration Station in New York Harbor is closed.
yeah.
Mm.
Yep,
That is
ceasing
good.
all operations. 1954 as well, Lee Kuan Yew and others formed the People's Auction Party, the PAP, in Singapore to work towards self-rule in Singapore. All right, that sounds good, I think. You know, it might have turned out to be
Maybe.
some kind of fascist thing, I don't know, but like, yeah. But 1955, the first West German officers were sworn in. All right.
Good.
Pretty good, yeah. Oh, 1955. Actually, I don't. Yeah, no, it's right here. I'm gonna take this. 1955. We spoke about this the other day. This is the anniversary of when Doc and Marty McFly are sent back to the future when lightning struck the Hill Valley Clock Tower at exactly 10:04 p.m. local time, generating the power to send the DeLorean and Marty back to 1985. So yeah. And actually, maybe maybe because like we're not too far of a drive from the Twin Pines Mall or the Lone Pine Mall. What's the actual mall called? What's that city? Pasadena?
No,
Not Pasadena.
I-
Not
Do you
Passamaquoddy.
think, like,
But
Right
are you
down the
thinking
street
about
from
like
it.
that one?
I can
What do you
literally
want?
drive within like a half hour. I'll be at that mall that they
Pointy
filmed
Hills
in.
Mall.
Pointy Hills Mall. The Pointy Hills Mall. Yes. So I'm debating whether or not I should go down there and like record myself at 10:04. Tonight. So yeah,
You
There'll be
should.
a
I think
crowd.
you should, dude.
probably. But what do we got here?
You and your dad go Back to the Future.
Yeah. What do we got
Only
here?
one of us will come back.
Well, in 1955 we have Eddie Arcero, or Arcaro, Earl
Arcaro,
Sande, and George Wolfe, inaugural inductees in the Horse Racing Hall of Fame.
All right. So they're the first ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie Carl.
Oh
For the-
yeah!
Now, for the sake
Was
of
one
time,
of them
I'm gonna rattle
like the
off.
writer for Seabiscuit?
For the sake of time, I'm going to rattle off because we're in the 50s
Yeah.
and we're almost an hour in. So 1956,
Yep.
largest observed iceberg, 208 by 60 miles first sighted. So 208 by 60. Whoa! That is gargantuan,
Yeah.
an iceberg. We also have 56 as well. Morocco, Sudan, and Tunisia join the United Nations.
Ooh.
All
okay.
right. And now I want you to pay close attention to this because, now once again, I know we adamantly disagree on this. I say both sides are awful, but this is a war crime. In the midst of the Suez Crisis, Palestinian refugees were shot dead in Rafah by Israel Defense Force (IDF) soldiers following the invasion of the Gaza Strip. That is a war crime, and they have not answered for it. Israel is not this innocent
alright.
angel of Aladdin that everybody thinks it is.
Well, I'm not going to agree with what you're saying at all. I have
This
to
is
see
history.
What the whole. Yeah, but I need more than a paragraph. I'd have to
Yeah.
go research and see what
Okay,
it's all
but yeah,
talking
so
about.
go research,
Okay.
that's all I want. I don't want you to think like me, I just want you to think, Like,
I think
Israel
plenty.
is not,
Most of the time, not like you.
Israel is not innocent. They are
Nobody's
antagonizers.
innocent.
So, anyway, 1958, a team of
Those
rock
are
climbers led by Warren Harding completed the first ascent of the nose on the El Capitan in Yosemite Valley.
Oh.
All right. All right. 61, Terry Joe Duperalt was the sole survivor of a series of brutal murders aboard the Ketech Bluebell. What? I'm going to look up this entire article.
No idea.
What was this? The Ketech Bluebell? Let me look this up here really. The Bluebell ship. Okay, so there was like a bunch of murders on a ship. Oh, it's a sailing ship.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I kind of remember something like this.
Is this like like a serial killer on board, huh?
The ship was scuttled following an act of mass murder by the ship's captain, Julian Harvey, so he was the sole survivor, and that explains why. On November 12, 1961, Harvey died by self-deletion on November 17th, within hours of receiving news that the 11-year-old Terry Jo DuPault had survived the scuttling. She had been rescued at sea 3.5 days after the incident, having drifted upon a small cork dinghy without food, water, or shelter for approximately 82 hours. So he sunk the ship and killed the people on it, or tried to.
Yeah.
I remember
Where's
something like
the
this. He
story?
went crazy or something. So,
Yeah, I remember the story,
Sounds like a
dude.
movie.
Like,
yeah.
oh
Well,
my
it sounds
lord,
like the
that's
inspiration
bad.
for the movie Ghost Ship, if anybody's seen that movie. So,
Yeah.
I haven't
that was,
seen it in a hot minute, but
man, that
I've
was
seen
fucking beginning scene.
oh, with the wire cutting everybody in half. That
Bro,
was wild.
that was like the best beginning scene of like
Oh,
any
man.
movie
Yeah.
ever.
Like,
I have not seen the beginning of the movie, but I've seen parts of it. I always came in
it's
the
an
middle. But
interesting
anyways,
movie.
moving.
But 1964, Paula
Movie
Murphy.
list for later.
Paula Murphy set female land speed record of 226.37 miles per hour. I wonder if she was in a car. Like, that's one fast lady. Wow. I mean, it doesn't specify. It just says she set the female land speed record. So,
Look at her go.
Wow. 1965. Now, I initially was going to skip over this, but we have a 66 one here later that coincides with this. But 1965, Mad Dog Vacun beat Crusher in Denver to become the NWA champ. Okay. Now, we'll revisit that here in a minute here. 1966, 18-year-old U.S. high schooler Robert Smith murdered 5 people at Arizona's Rosemar Beauty College for fame. So he just wanted his 5 minutes of fame or something. So a lot of people, they're going around, people are, look at Look at Johnny Somali as an extremely prime example. These jackasses going around and being idiots of themselves to try to get internet famous and everything. Well, that shit's been going around for a long time. It ain't anything new. It's just the internet just made it a lot more accessible. You know, but you know, people want to get famous, they want to get known, and they'll do horrible things to do so. You know. 1966, Buzz Aldrin took the first space selfie, a photo of himself performing extravehicular activity in space during the Gemini program. And here's the actual photograph he took. So he's out here in space. He took the first space selfie while out there. Like,
That's
space
cool,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool. So, we also have 1966, and this is what I was saying, mainly because of the name of the guy who defeated him, Dick the Bruiser, beat Mad Dog Vacon in Omaha to become NWA champ. So, you know, we were talking about Mad Dog,
So he won, then he lost.
Yeah, he won, but he lost to Dick the Bruiser. You know, you want to talk about a mushroom stamp there. I hope Alice can still hear me. 1966, the Dodgers completed an 18-game tour of Japan with a 9-8-1 record.
Ooh.
All right. 1967, Alice's favorite football team of all time, the Packers, is Travis Williams returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns against the Browns, setting largest margins of Browns defeat 48, winning 55-7. That's wow, 55-7. That's a hell of a spread right there. So
Yeah.
1968. Good Sir King, would you like to take this? I'm getting tired of talking all this time. So.
1968 U.S. Supreme Court, Epperson versus Arkansas declares unconstitutional the Arkansas law banning the teaching of evolution in public schools.
So Arkansas wanted to continue with the creationism aspect because, you know, Christianity and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, no, you will teach evolution, you know? And that kind of makes me, you know, think, like, you know, why are they pushing it? Like, what if creationism is real? Like, what is real? You know? What if everything is real? What if nothing is? We don't know. But as soon as you start saying, oh, you know, you have to do this, I'm starting to not agree. I don't care if I agree with the actual thing, but I don't agree with forcing people to do something like that.
Well,
you know?
it just said you had to teach evolution. You didn't say you couldn't teach the other.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
It's
true,
just, it's
true.
banning the banning.
True. Very true. So,
What else we got, King?
right there, the highlighted one.
Right there.
1969 author Alexander. That's an interesting name.
Yeah.
Is her name
There's
way
a lot
too
of spellings
spelled?
of my name.
Do you want me
Alex-
to take a crack at the last name?
Alexander.
Yeah.
Alexander. Alexander.
Wow. Good luck.
I can't say it
So
without
that's-
saying the I got
So
the
eventually-
E in
Anyway, what's his last
Okay.
name?
I think it's Solzhenitsyn.
Again?
Solzhenitsyn. Yeah. Expelled from the Soviet Writers Union.
Yeah, we
Spell?
talking about this guy. Yeah,
Oh, God.
Yeah, writer
What'd he do?
Nobel laureate.
Yeah.
Let's see here. For his dissident writing, Solzhenitsyn was expelled from the Writers' Union in '69, only to be awarded the 1970 Nobel Prize in Literature. He would receive the award in 1974 after he was ultimately expelled from the Soviet Union. So it would, you know, it'd take 4 years for him to. So he was like not full on Soviet. So
He
you
didn't
know,
like what he had to say.
yeah, they got rid of him.
You know, I love that Amish beard he's sporting there.
That's the Russian Abe Lincoln, essentially, looking like.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it looks like an Amish beard to me.
well, I mean, yeah.
Well, I guess I'm around too many Amish these days.
Okay, Jebediah. Moving on up to 1970. Another nickname for you. Cleveland Cavaliers launched their first NBA victory in their 16th game, defeating the Trailblazers 105-103 in Portland, Oregon. All
A
right.
side note, Cleveland Cavaliers have started this season 12-0.
Oh, all right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
The
do you want to
more you
answer
know.
our question from earlier? Who won the World Series this year?
The Dodgers.
Okay.
Was it the Dodgers?
It was
Yeah.
the Dodgers. So, yeah.
Well, so the Dodgers did win. Okay,
Yeah,
well, you know.
yeah.
Weren't they originally from New York originally,
Yes,
the Dodgers?
The Brooklyn Dodgers, yes.
So yeah, the
mom
Brooklyn
was,
Dodgers went to
Well,
California.
everybody has a
and
dark
now,
history. You know, what can I tell you?
I
well,
think
it's
their
kind of
dark
like
history is being out of LA. But
no,
anyway.
the dark history is when the Minnesota North Stars went to Dallas, Texas.
Oh, that hurt.
What do we
Oh,
got?
that
in
was-
1970 Lady Death, Miss Weather and Killing.
Oh,
and...
oh yes, you know how I love to read about death.
Yeah.
All right, so 1970 we have Cyclone Ebola. Ebola. Well, this is called Ebola virus.
Read it.
Makes landfall in East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, killing up to 500,000 people, making it the most deadliest tropical cyclone ever recorded. So,
500,000.
for those who don't know, a cyclone on the Pacific is basically a hurricane from
Yeah.
the Atlantic.
They give them
Yeah.
different
Those who
names
don't
for
know.
whatever reason. Like I don't know why.
But
You know.
I don't either because, like, when you hear cyclone,
Yeah.
I think tornado. I don't
Yeah.
think hurricane.
Well, I think of something circling the drain in the bathtub. You know, that's a cyclone.
Well, yes, it is. And depending on which direction, what part of the hemisphere you're on, it's really fun to watch. Like when I go to the southern hemisphere in New Zealand, I'm gonna flush that toilet like 5 times to see it like
Watch it
roll the
circle
other
backwards,
direction.
Yeah.
What do we got here in
I wanna
70 as
see-
well?
In 1970, the scientists performed first artificial synthesis of a live cell.
Whoa. Wow.
Ooh, what? Just that we know of. Maybe they had done before, but they just now announced it.
Yeah. Let's see. Another 70 here.
We have another 1970. Oh, a triple threat of 1970 today. We have the Northern Ireland Housing Executive, the NIHE, is formed. The NIHE gradually took over control of the building and allocation of public sector housing in Northern Ireland.
All right. And that's Northern Ireland is which one's the free? Because there's I think Northern Ireland is under British occupation, or maybe that's Southern. I think
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure it is. Like, I can't remember how that one works. Let's look it up real quickly for those who
We
are
don't have the
wondering.
time. We got to keep on going.
Oh no, we don't. Yeah, well, yeah, real. Look it up.
Yeah. 1970 off of main source, and this one's pretty, interesting here. The Oregon Highway Division attempted to destroy a rotting beach sperm whale with explosives, leading to the now infamous exploding whale incident.
I
We all know
remember.
about that.
Oh, man.
Remember
I
the
remember that.
blood
Yeah.
and guts and viscera covering
I've
everything?
never heard of it.
You haven't?
That's horrible.
You haven't?
Yeah,
So
look-
it's
Who
like-
came up with that?
Like they
It was like a
literally,
big.
like hold on a second, exploding whale incident. Like,
Oh, you're kidding me.
We
they
have-
literally blew up a whale on the beach. Like,
Families came. It was like a family picnic thing.
yeah,
And
people.
then
Yeah, that's right. People came out to watch it. So
Oh man,
Yeah,
people
that-
are sick.
Detonation proceeded as
Yep, they're gonna
planned.
blow up the whale.
What happened next was sheer pandemonium. The loud blast launched the whale's massive right side 150 feet.
so basically, like all sorts of blood and gore and viscera all over the place, crushing people's cars. I think that there are some injuries and everything.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, it was a bad idea.
it's like puking chunks.
Oh my god, I remember that video. I'm like,
Free
oh my
food.
god, did Newsacre get hit too?
Did what get hit?
The Newsacre in that video,
Yeah, I
like
think
when they
did get
blew it
hit.
up, like he
everybody
was,
got hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think was gonna happen?
Well, clearly they weren't thinking.
all right, let's
So.
let's continue
Off
on,
of main
guys.
source as well,
Let's go.
1971, during the Vietnam War, as part of Vietnamization, U.S. President Richard Nixon set February 1st, 1972, as the deadline for the removal of another 45,000 U.S. troops from Vietnam. And I wonder if he fulfilled that, order or not. I'm not sure. But what do we got here in 72?
We got it. So you want to take it?
Can't go for
Sure.
it.
1972 charity concert for United Crusade, now United Way, in San Diego, California, attracts nearly 52,000 performers, including Jay Band, Jesse Collins Young, Quicksilver Messenger Service, Foghat, and Dr. Hook, and the Medicine Show.
All right.
Dude, all those, the only one I knew was like one of them, Foghat.
That's what I was gonna say. I know Foghat on that one.
I know who Foghat is.
1974, Salmon is discovered in the River Thames, England, for the first time since 1833.
Wow. A salmon.
What, a
I
salmon?
had no idea they were over there.
They didn't need
Huh.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, salmon are everywhere, dude. They're river fish, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they
Another
basically. Oh, sorry. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Keep going. We'll talk about it later.
Another 1974 South African suspended from UN General Assembly over racial policy.
Yeah. Apartheid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Apartheid. Yep.
1975, the Comoros joined the United Nations. I've heard of the Comoros, kind of, sort of.
I have not.
79, in response to the Iran hostage crisis in Tehran, U.S. President Jimmy Carter ordered a halt to all petroleum imports in the United States from Iran and froze Iranian assets.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Oh, that's the oil crisis we had
Yeah.
with Carter.
Oh, well, no, the oil crisis was earlier.
That's true. It was.
Yeah.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, earlier 70s, yeah.
Yeah. The
Oh,
crisis
okay.
is in the 70s somewhere.
1980, New York City Mayor Ed Koch admitted to drying marijuana. Ooh. Now, isn't he
Ed
one of
Koch.
the... Koch. Oh, so he's not a
Koch.
Koch brother.
Mayor
Okay.
Koch. Everybody
Mayor
calls him
Koch.
Mayor Koch.
Koch.
Mayor Koch.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Koch.
Koch.
That one is actually Koch.
Okay.
Like you did Papa Dukes. Well, Papa Dukes and I corrected you there. Anyway,
Yeah.
keep continue.
1980, U.S. Space probe Voyager 1 approached the 77,000 mile or 124,000 kilometer or approached
Around Saturn, right?
made as the closest approach. I guess. Yeah. Hold on. Approach it. 77,000 miles or 124,000 kilometers of Saturn, its closest approach, and took the first images of its rings, and that's in our little collage here. These are right here, the
Oh,
first
look at
photo
that.
of
Ah,
the Saturn's
that's
ring.
gorgeous.
But dude,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, that was
That's gorgeous.
amazing. That picture, like, still looks really good
Oh,
today.
Yeah.
1981, the first balloon crossing of Pacific was completed by a double Eagle V. All right,
No idea.
double Eagle V. Let me look that up here really quick. Double Eagle V balloon. Pardon me.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
bless
see.
you. But by
Thank
the
you.
way, like 70,000 kilometers, like
Huh.
what? The Earth is like what? 24,000 miles around?
Roughly
like that,
24,
yeah.
25. So,
Yeah, somewhere around there. Like that's actually a really good picture. I'm just saying.
yeah. Let's see here. 1981. During the Space Shuttle program, mission STS-2, utilizing the Space Shuttle Columbia, marked the first time a crewed spacecraft was launched twice into space. Or into space twice. So, reuse
Oh.
the same
Reuse,
shuttle.
yeah.
Yes. And have
Didn't
you seen
Columbia eventually like burn up one?
Columbia, one of them, the Challenger blew up going up,
Yeah.
and the Columbia
In
blew up coming
88.
down.
Or no, 86. I'm sorry, 86.
86
Challenger
was the
did.
Challenger.
Columbia was like what, like the 2000s,
2011
or
or
was
something?
it the late 90s?
Hold on. It wasn't the 90s. I remember when Columbia.
When
disaster.
Columbia crashed, like where?
2003,
Yeah.
February 1st, 2003, on a Saturday.
Yeah, it was the 2000s, so I was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, no, I know it was in the 2000s. I knew that for a fact. It was in the 2000s. So.
Yeah, I just had to double check.
Yeah, but speaking of like reusing stuff, have you seen the video of SpaceX grabbing
Oh,
that
yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
No, not just it landing,
Uh,
but it coming in and putting it back in the freaking
Docking. Redocking.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Oh, it's amazing.
So yeah,
It's amazing how the world works nowadays.
Yeah, 1982, Aaron Pure scored a 14th round knockout of Alexis Arguello in Miami to retain his WBA super lightweight boxing title in the first of two meetings between the Hall of Famers, the ring's fight of the decade, as they called. So, yeah. Right here, this one right there. What do we got here? Another 82.
Ring it off.
Let's see here. KGB chief Yuri Andropov became the general secretary of the Communist Party's Central Committee, succeeding Leonid I. Brezhnev in the USSR, the Soviet Union. So after Leonard,
Yeah.
and that was around when they went through like what 3 or 4 people within a year or something.
Well, he was real quick after Brezhnev, whatever
Yeah.
his name is. I don't remember it. But he
Yuri
was in,
Andropov.
died or something.
Yeah. Like that scene from the Reagan movie. Like, how can I talk to them if they keep dying on
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen the movie.
Yeah,
You
we
gotta
got
see
it.
it.
We
It's
got
a
it.
great movie.
Well, I
Great
got it. For once, I actually have to catch Alice up with me with movies. It feels weird. Like
I know, isn't it?
we saw,
Ain't it
Deadpool
strange?
Wolverine last night for her. So yeah.
Oh, dude, that movie's awesome. But
Yes,
let's
it
keep
is.
rattling these off, buddy.
1983, New Jersey Devils' first overtime game, unfortunately losing to Calgary Flames 4-3. Yeah.
Calgary, ah!
1984, NBC premiere of Victims for Victims, a Theresa Saldana story, a fact-based telepic of actress Saldana's near-fatal attack and its aftermath. I don't remember
Never heard
any
of
of
any
this.
of that.
Yeah, neither have I. No. Now, 84, we got another cool. Speaking of, grabbing things, what do we got here,
40
Alice?
years ago.
Yeah, 40 years.
Yeah, so we have 1984. Space shuttle astronauts shared a satellite for space salvage.
Snared, not shared. So it went up and they salvaged it from the
Snared.
space junk. They pulled it out.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Less space junk out
Yeah,
there.
by one. So.
You know that there's still a floating glove out in space from one of the astronauts?
Oh, yeah, the glove.
I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
glove.
You know what? We should call it Luke's hand. You know?
Luke's hand?
Luke's hand. Skywalker, he got his hand cut off, just
oh,
floating
yeah.
around,
Okay.
Dude, I
Well,
hate
maybe
you
they
so
go
much,
movies.
but that's so
Yeah.
funny.
1985, secretary in Ann Arbor Mitch wounded by a package bomb. Whoa. That's not good.
Oh, you. Sheesh. No.
But 1987, why don't you
Bueno.
take this, actually? And I'll let you have three in a row here.
1987, we have a heavy snow closes schools from D.C. to Maine.
Ooh. And
Dude,
nowadays, go
I
ahead.
remember going trick-or-treating on Halloween in a blizzard back in 1991 in Minnesota.
Alice, don't tell them that. Shh. If you let them know that you have the ability to go out into a blizzard while trick-or-treating, you certainly have to do so while schooling. Don't let them know your abilities.
Oh, man, I got extra candy that year.
Yeah, I bet you did. I still have
I
Halloween
totally
candy
did.
for this year, so... what do we got
Right,
here?
let's keep going.
Yeah. Go for
Let's
it.
keep
You
rounding
got
these
two more.
bastards up. All right, you want me to do this one?
Two
Okay,
more.
so we got 1989. Brazil holds its first pre-presidential election in 29 years.
Nice.
Hi-yo!
Yeah.
Go Brazil.
Yeah.
We also have in 1989, George Forrest's musical The Grand Hotel opens at the Martin Beck Theater in New York City, runs for 1,018 performances, and wins 5 Tony Awards.
Wow.
That's a long run.
That is a long run.
Hi-yo!
So,
Dude, that's a lot of shows.
didn't
And
we
they got
cover,
5
like,
Tony
something
Awards?
that had, like,
Yeah.
26,000 showings or something
Ooh.
one time? So, you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
know.
Hey, Amber.
Cats or something. So, 1990, we have the body bag game after Eagles coach Buddy Ryan threatens beating Redskins so badly, quote, it'll have to be carted off in body bags, end quote. The Eagles defense scored 3 touchdowns, winning 28-14, knocking 8 Redskins out of the game. Wow. He almost made
good
good
lord.
on his promise. I
Like
don't know
8
what-
injuries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they
Oh,
weren't in
God.
body bags, but they're on their way. So,
Oh, dude, no, that's just like a precursor to 2010 with the Saints and the Vikings.
I don't know.
Not saying, just saying.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about
1990 as well,
later.
Crown Prince Akihito was formally installed as Emperor Akihito of Japan, becoming the 125th Japanese monarch. All right, so that's pretty cool.
Huh.
You know, 'cause
Well,
a
yeah,
lot of
do
people
you
don't-
still keep up? Well, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like Japan is kind of like the equivalent, the Eastern equivalent of the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
They have, their
Yeah.
monarchs.
The
Japan has
monarch,
theirs.
yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah,
really
you
no
have your
government
royal
anymore.
family, and they have a certain say, kind of like the crown. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, here
Look,
we
you
go.
don't.
1990, the World Wide Web was first proposed by CERN computer scientists Tim Berners-Lee and Robert Calliope. And let's not forget, CERN was a particle collider, and very much like how the internet, and all that stuff was a creation of the United States Department of Defense. As we said earlier, what was it,
Everything.
48 or whatever, the first particle accelerator?
Oh, yeah.
Really interesting.
30-something, I think.
Yeah.
And now the Earth is on a different timeline because
Yeah.
of CERN.
Yep. 1991, we have the Dili massacre. Indonesian forces opened fire on a crowd of protesters in Dili, East Timor, killing at least 250 people. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Ooh.
You know,
Oh, good lord.
yeah. But what do we got here, Miss Alice?
Well, in 1991, we had the U.S. TV series Full House, the 100th episode, The Twins Are Born. Oh.
No idea what that show is.
Yeah. Full
Well,
House?
no,
Yeah.
the Olsen twins.
Oh, okay.
Card game, as far as I'm
Where
concerned.
Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen,
I
they
get
were
it,
introduced.
Off of main source
Here's
here,
another thing.
1991, the Santa Cruz massacre occurred in which... Oh, we spoke about this. Santa Cruz massacre, the Delhi massacre, it's the same thing. Yeah, it says in which the Indonesian army opened fire on a crowd of student protesters in Dili, East Timor. So I gotta add that in here.
See
Really.
how many were killed or not?
It was the same one as the 250 people.
Oh.
It's just it's a double article.
Okay.
Must have not seen that while researching. But moving on up, 1992, New York Yankee pitcher Steve Howe was reinstated for the 8th time. Like what? So reinstated for what?
I think it was
Hall
drugs,
of Fame.
if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. Oh. 1995, Marino broke Tarkinson's NFL all-time passing yardage mark of 47,003. So 47,003 yards, passing, whatever, football stuff.
Yeah, football stuff.
Yeah. Oh, hey, there's your Vikings.
Oh, look out.
You're sideways. Uh-oh. We have a Vikings fan there. What are you a fan of?
Well,
The Rams
I'd rather
or-
not say at this point. No, not the Rams. I divorced them when they left.
Okay.
They left for St. Louis. I'm done with them.
Well,
so
but-
they come back. Chargers.
Chargers, okay. And then we have
Aren't the
King
Rams
over
back
there.
in California now?
Yeah, King over there with his Chiefs, and I just don't care. So
I love it.
I don't give
Love
a
it, buddy.
Fiddler's fuck. So, 1995 as well, New York MTA, the Metro Transit Authority, raised subway and bus fares from $1.25 to $1.50. So, all right.
Yeah.
95, what do we got here if I can find it here? This one. Want
Next,
to read this?
do you want me to read this one?
Actually,
yeah, I'll read it.
I'll read it because I have a beefier article here. Space Shuttle Atlantis launched on STS-74 to deliver the Mir docking module to the Russian space station Mir.
Ah, okay.
So, very much like how for a time we were relying on Russia, after our space shuttle program.
yeah.
Well, they were, they were kind of relying on us. So we helped them out and we put it on their ability to even dock with their own space station.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Dude,
and-
now, isn't Mir decommissioned now?
It's gone. Yeah, Mir burnt up in the atmosphere. It's gone.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah.
Yeah.
95 as well, off of main source. Erdut's agreement regarding the peaceful resolution of the Croatian War of Independence was reached. All right.
Oh.
Yeah. This is a lady death article, but I have more meat here if it's all right if I can.
Yeah,
read
no,
this.
go for it. Just take it, dude.
Saudi Arabian Airlines Boeing 747 Flight 763 and Kazakhstan Airlines Elysian 276 cargo plane Flight 1907 collided in midair over Shakardi Dari in India near New Delhi, killing 349 people, becoming the third deadliest aviation disaster in history. But our another source claims it is the deadliest. So we have a discrepancy here. Is it the third deadliest, second, or the first? So that's
I don't know.
it's
You have
horrible,
349. How many were on Malaysia
I don't
flight?
know. The
But we'll talk
Yeah.
about that later. Another
Now we
time.
have another off of main source here. Ramzi Youssef was found guilty of masterminding the 1993 World Trade Center bombing.
Oh,
Yeah. But moving on up, what do we got here, Miss Alice?
Oh, what we got here is we got New York Islanders tie Detroit Red Wings 1-1 to end a 10-game losing streak.
All right. Well, they didn't win, but they didn't lose. At least that's something. So they're headed the right direction. So that's good.
It's a tie. Sorry, I have a dump truck driving by.
Ah, okay. Oh. Well, maybe if you park that rear end of yours, dump truck won't be.
Dude, what rear end? I have no butt. Let's
But donk.
Come on, dude. I look like a like ET going home.
Where's your probe finger?
Anyway, let's keep on going.
What do we got here?
Well, we have in 1998, Vice President of the United States, Al Gore, symbolically signs the Kyoto Protocol, but the U.S. never ratifies it.
That's right.
What is the Kyoto Protocol?
Yeah, like, what is it? Let's look it up real
I'm
quick.
trying to remember. I did
Look
know
it
one
up.
time.
I remember this. Like, we talked about this,
Yeah,
like,
me
a
too.
year ago.
Well, it says here the Kyoto Protocol was an international treaty which extended the 92 United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Oh, God,
There
here
you
we go.
Ah, okay, you
I
lost
don't
me.
even need to
at
read
climate
any more of
change.
this. It's bullcrap. So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, well, no, it's Al Gore, too. Remember
Yeah,
that.
Al Gore. 1999.
No wonder we didn't sign it and
Nice.
ratify it.
Yeah.
1999, I have a more meat article here. We have the Dutsi earthquake struck northwestern Turkey with a magnitude of 7.2, maximum Mercalli intensity of 9, which is violent, killing 845 people, injuring an additional 5,000 others, and causing widespread destruction. Well, that happens. Like, yikes.
No, it does. That's what earthquakes do. Or
What do we
natural
got here?
disasters.
Another lady death article.
All right, 2001, American Airlines Flight 587, an Airbus A300, is on its way to Dominican Republic. Crashes minutes after takeoff from John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York City, killing 260 on board and 5 on the ground.
Killing all 260 on board, so nobody survived.
Yes,
On
so,
the flight,
well,
at least.
yeah, nobody survived, but
Yeah,
they
that's
also killed 5
unfortunate.
people on the ground.
But we've flown out of JFK International Airport.
Yeah.
On our way back home.
I was actually at Newark Airport in New
Wow.
Jersey like less than a week ago.
Ah, nice.
That was interesting.
Now, what do we
No, it
got
wasn't
here?
nice.
I have a
It was-
snarky
it was-
addition
it
to
was-
add to this.
That's where Hoff
It was a shit show out there.
Ah.
out there.
But we also have in 2001, the Taliban forces abandoned Afghanistan's capital, Kabul. Head of advancing Afghan Northern Alliance allegiance troops, however you want to pronounce it, alliance.
Yeah.
Alliance
they later retook it thanks
And
to
they're
Brandon.
back again.
They later retook it.
Tactical.
They later retook it thanks to Brandon, and the terrorists enjoyed the bumper cars. You know.
Let's
So,
go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. What do we have here?
Well, we have in 2003 in Nasiriyah, Iraq, at least 23 people, including the first Italian casualties of 2003 Iraq War, are killed in a suicide bomb attack on an Italian police base.
Hmm.
Ay.
You know, I'm scanning ahead because we have only a couple minutes left
Yeah.
in the show, but I'm gonna just scan ahead for.
Yeah,
a
you
couple-
just rattle them
No,
off, buddy.
you say this one.
Oh gosh, yes. Okay, in 2012 we have Joe Sakic, Matt Sudan, and Pavel Bure, and Adam Oates are inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Oh, yeah, buddy.
Now, 2014 here, the Philae lander deployed from the European Space Agency's Rosetta probe reached the surface of Moet 67P/Churyumov-Gerasimenko, landing a probe on an asteroid or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Gee,
that's
I
pretty
remember
cool.
that.
Yeah. We have another earthquake, yada yada. Okay, there's that. Oh, I want to read this one here. 2018. Moving on up. Israeli secret operation in Gaza killed 8, including 1 Israeli and a Hamas commander, igniting tensions with retaliatory rocket attack from Gaza. You want to know why everybody's attacking Israel? Because Israel does shit like this. They instigate. They don't do the full swing, but they're like, nah, I'm not touching you. They're instigators, man. You know? Like,
Amy.
yeah, see, like, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. They instigate, and then they get attacked, and then they're like, oh, we're victims. No, you egg them on. Leave them alone. You're not even supposed to be there, colonizers.
I'm just
So,
gonna say that Israel is a bunch of Karens.
They are.
I love them, but I hate them at the same time.
Speaking of Karens, 2019, you want to take this one?
Disney launches a film and television streaming service, Disney Plus.
Yeah, despite them owning Hulu and various other streaming services, you know, like,
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like, yo, how much more money can they get?
not enough. So,
I keep staring at your eyeballs on your hat. Okay, let's keep going.
Let's see here. We have The Mandalorian, yada yada. It's Disney and all this stuff. I'm trying to find Oh, here, 2021, a Los Angeles Superior Court judge ruled to formally end pop singer Britney Spears' conservatorship, which had controlled almost all aspects of her life for the past 14 years leading up to that. And she has since proven how needed they were.
Yeah, I know, her
What a
knife dancing.
psycho, you know? Like,
Her knife dancing? Yeah, well,
Yeah.
she needed them, but like, she also needed to be free.
Oh, and I
Let
want
people
to read
know
this
her
one here as
craziness.
well. This sounds like money laundering. 2022, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos announced his third Courage and Civility Award of $100 million to country singer-songwriter Dolly Parton for her to distribute to charities of her choice. Gee, what a great way to avoid paying taxes and launder the money. Keep the money.
Yeah,
Trickle down
$100
economy-
million.
Trickle down
Did you put the
economy,
pinky
my
up?
left butt cheek. So, yeah.
Did you
and
put your pinky up when you said that?
I did now. And I know
Well, I did it for you.
I know we are at time, but I want to read this as well. 2022, 2 vintage aircraft crashed in midair at the wings over Dallas World War II air show, killing all 6 people. And that was, remember that B bomber or whatever, like
Yeah.
only 1 of 5 left in the world? I think this was it.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
you know,
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
I
you remember
remember
that
talking
video?
about this last
yeah,
year.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we were like, what the hell?
Now, I want to read these last 2 really quick here as well.
Go
On
right
2023, just last year, we have an unprecedented heat wave in Brazil, affected more than 3,000 towns, with Rio de Janeiro reaching 42.5 degrees Celsius, with very high humidity, making it feel like 58.5 degrees Celsius. What is that in Fahrenheit?
What is that in Fahrenheit, though?
Well, yeah, I'm looking that up right now. That
Actually,
is,
I could probably tell you off the top of my head, but I'm not going to.
108.5 degrees Fahrenheit. That is hot as balls, man. Like, that's hot.
My balls,
Yeah.
my balls,
Yeah, because of the humidity.
they're,
It's
they're
really
boiling.
Now, this is, once again, going back to this whole thing, I've been ping-ponging about. 2023, the World Health Organization called for attacks on and around hospitals in Gaza to stop, with newborn babies reportedly dying as a result of power, water, and oxygen cuts. But I wonder if Israel did indeed stop the instigators, the constant victims, allegedly. Like, both sides are awful, but one side keeps throwing the first punch. That's what I keep saying. Recognize that both sides are awful, but you got to stop one side from constantly egging the other one on.
Seems like we're like,
as
yeah,
Trump says, I just want the killings to stop. Simple as that.
exactly. I just want people to all get a bong.
Well, we don't have to all get along, but we just got to stop fighting.
I don't think you heard my play on words. I said get a bong.
Oh, get a bong. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm.
Why can't we all just get a bong?
Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion. Check our sources for more. For your dose of Passive and Daily, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific time, 12 noon Mountain, and I'd actually, if King was here, I'd like him to read 1 Central, but what time is it Eastern?
2 p.m. Eastern time, my friends.
Yep. We do have other shows, from history to news, movie reactions and reviews, gaming, videos, and memes, Omni Kitchen, and everything else in between on Talk Show. Check the underbar. For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander. Alice?
Oh, I Duke was going to say his name, so I was waiting for it.
Golden
I am
Loon.
Alice.
Yeah.
And Golden Loon.
And in the participation/live studio audience section, we had King's Refuge. And last but not least, especially you viewers. Without you, none of this doesn't even get, viewed. So thank you very much. Until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left and rate. If we rate 5 thumbs and subscribe. Toodles.
Be cool, stay as cool. Don't do drugs.
Drugs.
Ooh.
Industry.